Go. Hello everyone. Hi. Welcome to episode 22, right? Episode 22 of Serious Migration, live with Serious Migration, with lots of updates, immigration updates from Australia. So today we're going to talk about a few topics, and then we want to give you more opportunities to ask us more questions so we can share our knowledge and answer your questions directly. And also I want to remind you, these days we're doing the initial consultation free until 1st of July or the end of month, 30th of June financial year, just to support everyone with these new changes and everything like that. So if you need anything personalized, feel free to call any of our contact numbers there. The mobile numbers are there, phone numbers are there, admin@serious.com.au. The famous email address is there too. So contact us via any of those methods. Let's start the episode 22, the last episode for the financial year 2020-21. So hooray. Last one. Yeah, that's it for the year. And there's lots of new changes and lots of new visas.
Good news, actually.
Yeah, very exciting. So, my name's Isuru Yappa. I'm an Australian registered migration agent here from Serious Migration. And
Rebecca Huang.
this lovely lady, Miss Rebecca Huang, she's an Australian migration agent as well. So we both are authorized or
to help you
to advise you with migration queries and information. So So the biggest news 2 days ago, was it 2 days ago?
Yeah, 2 days.
Yeah. The PMSOL, Priority Migration Skill Occupation List, got expanded by 22 new occupations, which is more than double what we had. So the immigration gave 17 occupations in September last year to help up with the pandemic, the COVID
recovery,
post-COVID economic recovery program.
Most of them are like a registered nurse in the medical industry to support the COVID-19. So then they had the social worker came in, and then the veterinarian came in. A couple of days ago, we've got the full list again updated by another 22 occupations. We'll talk about it soon. And then we will talk about the prospective marriage visas. There are some activities going on. If you're interested about talking about prospective marriage visa, and also if you're one of those applicants who's willing to travel to Australia, or you're facing the problem getting travel exemption, the information that we're going to talk about and information that we're going to share with you will be highly relevant and helpful to you. And business visas, my favorite 188A is going to be changed again. So as we always say, the 188A and B is going to be changed, and 132 is gone anyway. So so we'll have a quick chat about that too. Shall we talk about business visa and get it out of the way so we can spend more time in? I want to spend a little bit more time in PSMO. It's Lena's fault. Lena confused me. PMSOL, Primary Migration Skill Occupation List. Let's get to it towards the end. If you're a qualified person to be employed, and if you have an employer in Australia, and if you're living between two countries, having difficulties to come, this information will be significantly important for you. Sure. So business visas, almost finished. I've spoken with one of my business visa clients just before I came in now. He wanted to do 188B. It's going to be a big challenge. Apparently the client's got a lot of information, so I'm going to check this information right after the event now. So the client, talking about the streams, most of the states are closed for this financial year.
So the next financial year is going to be challenging for certain clients, and it's the requirements going to boost up. So 188A visa, where you are expecting to expand your business to Australia, or you're coming expecting to use your experience and come and establish a business if you're an entrepreneur in Australia, 188A visa is a really good visa. This visa requires you to have a good business background. So we target business as your skill. So the English, there's no English requirement, or there's no mandatory skill requirement. What they look at is the business experience. Invitation only. So you need to get an invitation from one of the state governments, and then apply for the visa through the federal government. So the earlier 188A visa, the requirement used to be $500,000 turnover, and you need to have a business experience within last 5 years. And out of 5 years, we look at 2 of your best turnovers, and they needed to be $500,000 turnover, which now is going to jump up to $750,000. And also together with this, they had a requirement of your asset value. So asset earlier used to be minimum requirement, or the benchmark used to be $800,000. Now it's going to be 1.25 million. So that's 188A visa. But 188B requires you to not come here and do any business. So you can come here and do anything you like, but you need to have a good investment background. So you you inherited properties or investments, and then you reinvested it, and you can demonstrate you have a good investment background, or you are a good investor that you've been investing last 5 years or more. So if you fit into that category, and if your net worth is over $2.2 million, you could have just come here, invest $1.5 million in treasury bonds for 4 years, and then you'll be getting your interest paid every 6 months, and then you could get your permanent residency through 888 visa after 4 years. So this visa is the one I'm processing right now. I don't know how we will go with the timelines. This visa is requiring you to not invest 1.5. We don't have the solid information as yet, but the information that we gathered so far says it's going to jump up to $2.5 million. So for certain people, it's a big jump from 1.5. It's 2.5.
Double.
Big money. The good thing is once you invested, if you have kids under 18 years old, they will get to go to public school for free while you're studying, and then you can continue your life with whatever you like here in terms of doing legitimate business or investments, etc. You and your partner and your kids aged up to 18 years, or if they're still dependent below 23, they can still come with you and join you as the family members. So because of that 1.5 to 2.5 jump, there's a lot of people rushing, but I'll tell you this, you need to have all the documents in line, and then time limits are very pushing. I mean, I don't know if you can do it. So if we don't have all the documentation and things ready, I guess let's get ready for 2022 financial year.
Yes.
So that's almost all about business visas. Significant visa investor, the premium investor visa is going to go away. So I think they're going to scratch out the premium investor, which was a requirement of $15 million investment. So the significant investor is going to continue the $5 million investment category, where you're required to invest $500,000 minimum into to venture capitals, and then 1.5 minimum in managing funds, and minimum of $3 million towards fund managers.
Yes. Yeah.
So that's going to continue. Interestingly, I had a really good client spoke to me about earlier this week. They're going to invest $5 million, and venture capital they're going to increase from. They wanted to know whether they could use more than $500,000 into the venture capital, which you could, but then again it has to be minimum of $500,000 towards venture capital. Then the minimum investment will increase from $5 million to $5.5 million if you want to take. They're going to I can't disclose the name of the food group. They're going to bring one of the big food groups from Philippines, and spread it out. There's going to be lots of yummy news for Philippine clients. So and also they reckon it'll go very fast. I wish them all the very best. General skill visa, general skill migration clients. I think stay tight. You'll have, especially if you are currently in Australia, I think they'll be introducing a very good stream coming up through 189, 190, 491 especially. I think they'll give lots of incentives towards 190 and 491 categories.
They wanted, those students who can work in regional area.
Yeah.
And the government is actually very supportive.
Why I say that? Because with the surprise already we had with the PMSOL.
Yes.
Priority migration skill occupation list got banged and pretty big. So just before we go into the next PMSOL, I think it's not far away. I'm nearly there. That's my carrot, PMSOL. So dangling. Let's talk about the. I promise you that we will be talking about prospective marriage visa clients. We have experienced some of our clients, just not us. Everyone's experiencing the issues with partner visa clients where
they are offshore, they cannot come back to meet their family members.
So with the partner visas, if you married and if you or if you can prove that you're in a genuine relationship with you married or in a de facto relationship, you can apply for the partner visa.
Yes.
But if you're not in a state where you want to have your marriage or the wedding in Australia and have the partner and the family join you in Australia, you have a visa called prospective marriage visa.
Yes.
This is a pre-visa or a earlier visa category before the partner visa.
Yeah, it's like a fiance.
So you have a relationship and now you want to get the relationship into the next level. And you can use that prospective marriage visa to come here and get married within 6 months, right? So get married in Australia and then apply for the partner visa. After 2 years being in the partner visa, you can then apply to become a permanent resident. But apparently, usually when you apply for the partner visa, we put 2 applications together for the partner portion and also the permanent portion. And when you apply for the partner visa, after 2 years you get invited or you get questions about your relationship status and then you get the visa granted. Right now with this COVID situation and the border restrictions, what's happening is these people who have been in long distance relationships, who are expecting to get married in Australia or who were expected to have their wedding in Australia, they're facing a big trouble because they cannot apply for travel exemption.
Yes.
So we have put down a link down below in our comment section. There is a petition going on organized through a group of clients who are interested in expecting the government's attention
to allow
travel exemptions for prospective marriage clients.
Yes,
So if you are one of those clients who are experiencing distance relationships and not being able to come to Australia under this visa category, or if you're in favor of supporting these clients, please go through that link down below in our comment section and help fill out the petition to support this team.
Yes.
And while you're there, make sure you hit that subscribe button and the like button in Facebook and YouTube.
Yes,
so
please.
that help us to reach you regularly. Every Thursday we bring out this migration updates live session, and also Wednesdays we bring out the education live sessions. On top of this, we are producing videos individually customized for certain visa categories. So right after this this live session, you will see a video that we produced yesterday about the latest priority migration skill occupation list, PMSOL, and how and who it is important for you, going in depth into it. So is that it? Let's talk about
the priority
migration
skilled occupation list.
So Mario said to us, Mario, our marketing head here, said to us, give an indication so you don't have to mention the whole lot. I said, I'm not good at giving the indications. I'll call up the name. So he's going to display this list right now. So this is the PMSOL. So earlier in September, the initial list was on the left-hand side of the screen. Is that the left-hand side? Left. So the mechanical engineer, general practitioner, residential medical officer, psychiatric medical practitioners not elsewhere classified, midwives, all sorts of nurses. I think all the nurses are classified there. Computer expertise like developer, manager, programmer, software engineer, maintenance planner were there. And then they introduced social worker and then the veterinarian. Social worker also go very close with residential, what is it called, residential care officer as well. So they're closely related. So they were the occupations then. And then without taking them out, while they're there, they introduced this massive list a couple of days ago.
It's like the majority of our students study in accounting, engineering, IT. It's like it's all back to the list again.
So this is giving energy back, and also so the right hand side is the new list. It's 22 occupations. So now the PMSOL consists of 41 occupations. So what's the highlights in this occupation list is accountants and there are five categories.
It's like, everyone can be, on
in the
list.
PMSOL.
Yeah.
So I will soon talk to you about why PMSOL, and then chefs, chefs. They've been identified as well. I know. Software engineers, programmers, and multimedia specialists been identified too and been recognized there. But they were, and the ICT security, they were also in a lot of other state programs.
Yeah.
The 491 categories, accountants were having a lot of trouble and issues. Like, once you finish your accounting degree, people weren't sure what to do, and some people try to put them into trade courses and all sorts of things. But if they were genuinely, if someone genuinely studied their accounts degree, and if you wanted to proceed with your permanent residency pathways or the work pathways, now you have been recognized, and we will show you how in a minute. And engineers, you've been. Most of these other categories, they were in state category list, and they were recognized elsewhere too. So accountants were taken care of very fairly this time, which is wonderful to know. But it's not just favoring or unfavoring someone. This is all about the actual demand and the how the government's influencing the post-COVID recovery coming out of this COVID too. So I guess it is a good news for
international students.
Correct, international students, or more than international students, yes, but also for qualified people. So people who are in masters and with some experience, etc. This is a very good news. And also, if you're currently stuck overseas and if you're qualified through any of these visa the occupation categories, this is a good news. Why? Who are these? Who's benefiting out of this PMSOL is mostly work visa holders. So if you're a work person who's got a sponsorship through Mario, maybe we'll show them the other screen. So if you're currently qualified to go through any of these visa categories, and let's simplify it. If you have a qualification and at least 2 years work experience and a sponsor, an employer who's willing to offer you a job in Australia, you might be eligible to go to get a visa to come to Australia, a work visa from overseas under one of these categories. 186, 482, 494. Then where the occupation list. So if you're coming through 186, mostly your occupation has to be in MLTSSL. If you're coming through 482, it can be MLTSSL or STSOL, short-term skill occupation list. The bad thing about short-term skill occupation list, if you come through that category, there is no permanent residency pathways. So you get a 2-year visa and then you can extend it, but you cannot permanently live here, or you cannot go into the 186 categories. But if you use 494 category, they use ROL, regional occupation list, and then you need to work in a regional area.
Employer,
but your occupation list is again expanded, and you may find permanent pathway through there as well. Sometimes certain occupations are in short-term skill occupation list in the for 482 purposes, but 494 purpose, it's in ROL. Then you have a permanent pathway. There are further discounts or concessions through DARMA lists, so designated area migration agreement list. So there it is like a labor agreement, gives you more incentives and opportunities through extended. So you can get discounts through your IELTS or the English
exemptions on English,
correct.
And I believe there's some of trade occupations are in this DARMA list as well.
So now we know which list of occupations are for which visa category. What does PMSOL mean then? Priority skill migration skill occupation list allows you to. So at the moment, for an example, if your occupation is out of one of those occupations in PMSOL, and if you're currently overseas, for an example, you're not in Australia, so you're in Singapore, Sri Lanka, PNG, wherever, even though if you get the visa granted, you cannot travel to Australia. And but if you get this your occupation through PMSOL, you are eligible to apply for a travel exemption to travel into Australia. So people start looking for a job opportunity if there's one available, and then you can start traveling in, so the border restrictions can be relaxed for you. And also one other good thing, you will get an expedited or prioritized decision or processing for you.
occupations.
This is really good. I've been talking with quite a few resort owners, and we work very closely with our updated my clients or the audience earlier as well. Yeah, Mario, that's fine. Our audience as well, that there's a lot of resorts or the tourism sectors lacking staffs, food and beverages, chefs and cooks. So now I think there'll be good
to have those
opportunities for those people. Yeah, because in Australia the local tourism grew, and there's a lot of movement in tourism and the progress. And there was a big labor shortage. I think this will be a very good opportunity, and I think it is a very good pick. Sorry, we didn't talk about individual requirements or anything like that, because it's going to take us hours and hours to talk about it. So if you have any thing that you wanted to discuss, set up an appointment, talk to us, so we'll talk to you personally about those categories. And also I wanted to quickly remind you before we go to the question session, our Melbourne office is open. So unit the suite 1, so we in ground floor, facing Burwood Road, 529 Burwood Road, Hawthorn. Yes. 529 Burwood Road, Hawthorn. So
we should
it's a lovely new design. So our partners over there's done a really good job with it. We can't wait to go there at the moment. We just having issues issues going there at the moment as the So let's come to question and answer time.
Yes.
Do you want to talk about 485 or 189, 190?
485. So graduation season for those students currently graduate from a course, or for example, if you graduate from bachelor or higher course, then you can apply for a 485 visa with IELTS 6. With minimum 5 in each band, and then for those trade qualifications, like a certificate of commercial cookery or diploma course, then you also will be able to apply for 485 under graduate work stream, but you will need the skill assessment before that. So if you have any questions in regarding to the 485 visa, please let us know, and then
we'll do one-on-one.
Yes, we will do consultation with you.
I want to discuss some few things before we go into thing with 485, Rebecca.
Yes.
With English, a lot of clients, they're confused. They I shouldn't say confused, I'm sorry. They're questioning IELTS or the PTE, should we do academic or general or what it is. So I think it's a good opportunity for us to clean this up.
It can be either academic or general for IELTS, but I think PTE is for academic.
Yes. So it is good to be good to certain clients. If you have a skill assessment requirement for your next visa or this visa, that you must do academic, maybe do academic only. But if you're, for an example, if you're an accountant, or if you're a nurse that who's looking for NMAC or AFRA registration, then sit for your academic, so that way you get one rock, two birds.
And also the 485 is IELTS. If you have a previous IELTS result, it's valid for 3 years to, apply for your.
So if you've done
if you've done one within 3 years for the application, then you don't have to do another one.
Certain result sheets got, I think PTE, they say, I can't remember, I saw it somewhere, it says valid for 2 years only. But for migration purposes, it is valid for 3 years.
Yes.
So so once you get you need to be age below 45 years.
45, yes.
And you need to have a IELTS 6, minimum 5. And then if you're doing a trade course, you need to have a skills occupations. Skills assessment.
Skill assessment.
And with the skills assessment, certain jobs requires you to have at least 1 year work experience before the skills assessment's been given. But they would provide you a provisional
work placement. 360 hours. Some of the courses they do that.
Yeah.
If they don't, then you will need to find the employer to complete.
But
those,
certain visas, certain occupations such as civil draftsperson, telecommunication and network engineer.
Yes,
So if you've done one of those courses, your skill assessment doesn't need 1 year work experience. You can go straight into a skills assessment. So you can be qualified for a program that way. So if you did a bachelor's or master's degree in academic or a PhD, you're not required to do a skills assessment.
No, just with your qualification and IELTS, then you are good to go.
Good to go.
Yeah.
So I hope that I'm keep talking about this every week, so because I'm getting these frequent questions coming through every now and then. So
let's have a look with the questions.
Yeah, let's have a look at the questions now. Aruna G, good morning. Good morning, Aruna. Sumit Bisht. Hello, hi. What about offshore applicants, mechanical engineer? Yeah, mechanical engineers still in PMSOL 233512 occupation. So, yeah, mechanical engineer and mechanic is different occupations. So, if you need any ANSCO duty explanations, please be in touch. We'll explain. Warren, how are you? Thanks for revisiting.
He's our
regular
audience.
Thank you very much for coming back and joining us, supporting us. And we've got a question from Sumit. Sir, I applied for COVID-19 visa and I'm on a bridging visa. So you applied for a 408 visa. I did masters in accountancy. What is the best option for me to currently? I'm in Melbourne, having 90 points. So 90 is not too bad. And
try the regional.
Yeah, try regional because accounting. When you go through work visa programs, if you do a 482, the employer needs to satisfy certain caveat.
Yes.
So the employee needs to have at least a $1 million turnover, 5 full-time staff employees, and also the duties has to be fully accounting, and it cannot cover bookkeeping. So if you're doing some accounts jobs, you need to have another person supporting with you doing the bookkeeping. But if you did regional, then under 494 category, there's no caveats. So 90 point is good. Build up your work experience. At least if you can build up did you do a master's degree? Yes. So if your bachelor's degree is in accounting, and ever since your bachelor's degree until now, if you can show you have work experience for 2 years, then you can be sponsored under 482 if you have 3 years with the skills assessment 186. So
or if you find a job in regional area, you can probably apply for 491. Currently, Queensland is under the priority
migration skill occupation list. So under
try Queensland, because I know Victoria currently they only invite those occupation in the health or medical
critical sectors.
Critical sectors. So Victoria maybe don't have a big change for the next financial year. We don't know. So keep an eye on Queensland.
So and also I have to remind 491 small business owner category. Today we had a grant from or an invitation from BSMQ. I think we should be one of the last people to get a invitation from BSMQ for this financial year. I'm so glad, and many congratulations to our client. He's bought a shop over in Nerang, and got a accounts background too, and he was able to push this all in one hit.
That's good.
And also, so he bought the business in October, and he complied with all the requirements. Luckily, he bought it under the previous requirements, so he only had to, he didn't have to buy the business at 100,000. He bought the business below 100,000 and then capitalized. Earlier, he was able to use the stock value as well. So, done a great job. I'm so happy for my client who's received this visa, and I'm pretty sure he's happy as well. Right now we are in the process of applying the actual visa, so the invitation is there. So Sumit, as Rebecca said before, because it's in PSMOL and Queensland 491 categories goes, PMSOL is a guideline for Queensland. We have seen grants beyond that as well, depending on the sector. If we can demonstrate it's got COVID recovery in there too. So so Mario saying move on.
Next.
About cafe manager offshore, Bikramjit Singh. Offshore cafe manager right now
is
not very good. You have to hang on or get your skills improved. If you were a chef, you would have been here through this if you had a sponsor. So Arunaji, I came across all the videos, but for university lecture I didn't get guidelines so far. 189 visa university lecture. 189 offshore, Aruna, is not a very good, not in a very good place right now, because there's no invitations coming out for 189 at the moment. So lecturers got good places, but
on the priority list.
Yes.
Gonna be long waits for those occupations, I believe.
Sure. So unfortunately, lecture is not in very good position if you're going through 189 category. But if you want us to assess your background personally, I welcome you to send us your CV. One of us we can.
We can have a private consultation with you.
Send your CV to admin@cirrus.com.au and how you think your points break down, and if we can show you a different pathway, we will definitely help you out that way. So Jyoti Gusain, you want to talk about 188E stream visa. I think 188E is going to get scrapped out, which has already been scrapped out, but they'll be announcing it in by next Thursday. So we will discuss about it again on Thursday, or if you want information earlier. Did you write? Thanks.
No, sorry, I was.
So I will talk to you one-on-one. Unfortunately, this is not a promising category for next year. So if it comes up, we will discuss with you together. Otherwise, contact us separately. We will, talk to you. Vinay Kumar in India.
Now my occupation is recently added to the PMSOL and have.
It's Lena's fault.
482. Can I go ahead for travel exemption? Is any client approval request required? I know there is some certain requirement for those travel exemption from India. there is.
So
only those critical skilled sectors will be exempted from, like medical and health industry. So we need to know what's your occupation.
Analyst programmer. I was lucky. I was just reading through my exam.
Okay.
So,
then I think from India at the moment, only those critical sectors.
But being in PMSOL, I would say apply for a travel exemption again and explain if you maybe see how bad your employer requires you as well, and then if you can get a support letter. And if you need any support, let us know. With India, it's bit debatable at the moment, but for priority sector, they haven't mentioned too much about it. So Deba Brata, I'm really sorry if I'm pronouncing your name wrong. Banik
graduated as an aerospace engineer in Melbourne. Applied 189 visa with 85 points. I have no experience as 190 in Victoria is closed. Would it be worth it to move to New South Wales to apply 190?
I would say wait till next week, because you'll get to see what's the next program looks like. I know there's a lot of people do predictions. No one's got the crystal ball. So
that's right.
Just wait till next week. It's a big move. So next financial year program will come out on 1st of July or very soon. So wait for that, and then we'll decide. Then that'll give you a better but if it's otherwise, it's right now as it is, I think going to New South Wales would be a better option. And if you can afford that 100,000, Queensland can get you the 491 SBO straight away too. I mean, not straight away, it takes 6 months. You have to come by a business here. Bachelor of Education, Kaushi Hansika, sorry. Kaushi, I'm still a Bachelor of Education undergraduate in Sri Lanka. In 2023, I will be graduated. Just after graduation, can I migrate to Australia to work with a PR pathway? PR pathway, Hansika, since you're offshore right now, I would not do big plans right now, because these visas get changed every year. We're talking about 2 more challenging years to go past. We have seen a massive improvement from last year to this year, and also through all these tough restrictions and COVID spreads and etc. So I wouldn't make big plans right now sitting there, but maybe after next year you should start working on the program. So Lengthun Yuthia, how do you pronounce that?
He was one of our viewers from yesterday's
welcome back, Ling. Thank you for joining us again.
I'm a graduate and registered nurse, currently living and working in Melbourne. With my own points of 80, what's the chance of 189 and 190? I think Victoria, they actually open for those registered nurses because they are
critical
sectors. So we need to find out which area is you're currently working with. Are you working in a aged care center or a hospital? Then 190 in Victoria, maybe you can have a bit opportunity to apply with.
I wouldn't try hard on 189 these days, but 190 you'll have a better opportunity. And if you can find a regional job in Queensland, 3 months you get 190 or 491 that way as well. So good opportunities. Nursing is a very good thing.
Yes, it's on the priority list as well.
Is there any restrictions for Indian to travel into Australia? Yes. There are. But depending on your occupation and the skill set, you may be able to work.
So he is...
Vinay, sorry.
Vinay.
Yeah.
Evelyn, hello. Work experience should be after graduation?
Depending on which category. So if you were to go through 482, it doesn't have to be after graduation, as long as you fulfill at least 80% of your NSCO job requirement duties, then it can be counted.
Yeah. And it's
but
full-time.
It
has to be full-time or part-time.
Part-time.
Working experience.
Mostly 186, 189, 190 categories you're required to have it with post-qualification.
Yeah.
What about T. Suji? What about a structural engineer with 90 points for 190 with new PMSOL currently in offshore? If you're offshore, Suji, I think the best option is to find an employer.
Yes.
Find an employer. How much experience you have? Yeah, I don't know. So, 482, 494, 186. There's a few.
Yes, for offshore, I believe most of the states, they are not open for the offshore.
Yeah, 189.
Even you are on the priority list.
Correct.
But we don't know.
Yeah.
If they're gonna reopen next financial year. Yeah.
Yeah.
So next.
So leave the game. After trade course of advanced diploma, how many work permit would be provided? That's I don't really understand. Do you read it properly?
After trade course of how many work permit would be? So if you apply for 485 after you complete your trade course, then you have a full working rights.
Full working rights, if that's what you meant. Yeah. New Quality Media, welcome back. You've been with us for a while, visiting us. Thank you. 188 visa received. Congratulations. Please advise the procedure for the investment. Depends whether 188 A, B, or C, and countries restrictions. So if you got the 188, if you have 188A, you're not required to do any investment straight away. You can apply for a travel exemption and travel to Australia, and then start conducting your feasibilities, and then do the investment later on. So it depends. Joyce Dean, good afternoon. Good afternoon to you too. Just wondering if my son, who is 3 years old, can be able to come here in Australia as he get approved by our 491 visa. How possible is bubble travel in Singapore? So if you're currently in Singapore, you have better hope, because I think our Honourable Prime Minister met with your Honourable Prime Minister in Singapore about a week ago.
Travel bubbles.
Yeah, so they have discussed that they're going to work on Singapore as the next step after New Zealand. So hopefully it will start working very soon. So sorry that your son is stuck in Singapore. So Prasad, are there any opportunities for business analysts? I want to apply for OSPIA, need guidance. So business analyst, we would like to find out whether you're in Australia or onshore or offshore. So also book us an appointment. We can probably discuss what's your point score, where you stand, and all that sort of things, and we can give you
advice based on your information. Yep. Next, Amrinder
Guman.
I'm an electrical engineer with more than 8 years experience. What are the options?
Again, are you offshore or onshore? The electrical engineers, what qualifications they have?
Priority list. If you can find an employer
in
Australia, maybe you can apply for one of the employer-sponsored visa, like 482-186.
Yeah,
try
or 494.
Yeah.
But if you're onshore, you might be able to go 491 as well. But yeah.
Hashan,
very well.
Do we have anything in writing from South Australia saying that we will nominate students who study online offshore with a student visa?
Yeah, good question. I've seen some. I think that there is some. I can't guarantee anything on this, Amrinda. But if you send us an email, I'll do some search. I should be able to flip you one of those information.
I think,
it's a good question. Thank you.
The online study, right?
Yeah. Hi, Rohit. 1, 2, 3. Mohan. Hi, I'm from Sri Lanka. Hi. Happy person, if it's the right way of saying it. I already have the skills assessment for sales and marketing manager and will expire in September 2021. Sales and marketing manager, what is the possibilities for marketing specialist is there, right? No, that's multimedia specialist.
That's multimedia specialist.
Yeah, so
no, I believe it's gonna be a little bit tricky.
Yeah, the problem, the only thing with sales and marketing, you can go into 482 category because it's an STSOL, short-term skill occupation list, but there's no permanent pathways in there unless you have a regional sponsor who allows you 494. So my advice is to find an employer unless you have specific skills. It'll be a bit tough to find one. Before we go to the next question, let's go talk to Sanju Shrestha from Facebook.
Does new PMSOL means good news for 190 accounting grant? Yes. Already got nomination and waiting since last 12 months offshore. Or it is only for employer sponsor? Thank you. Yeah, I believe if you have already received your nomination and you're still waiting for your visa to be granted, I believe after the new list released 2 days ago, you will be hear some good news.
If you can secure a job opportunity or a job letter, I think it'll be considered for a travel exemption as well. But 190, if you get a nomination, you will
eventually.
You're most likely to get a visa.
Get a visa, but just the time matters.
Yeah. So
that's from
Facebook and Rohit Sharma. So I'm applying for 482 nomination as a chef in January, but not yet. Yeah. So Rohit, good news. Your processing will be lifted. So if your application is there, it is time to contact the department and request for a revisit. I think most of the applicants will be reconsidered or expedited because the whole point is to with the priority skill migration occupation list is to expedite the visas and give you a fast response.
He's offshore.
Sandeep, I'm offshore applicant. Yeah. So Sandeep Kingra, when will Australia start to traveling from?
I don't know.
It's not just India. It's just
all over the world.
Yeah, all over the world. There's a tough time.
It's true uncertainty around this virus thing. Yeah.
But there's a big growth, and the attention has taken from a lot of people to get vaccinated, and the vaccinated program is going really good in Australia. So as soon as these vaccination rounds are over, I think there'll be a lot more relaxed travel opportunities between the countries, but right now we don't know. If I guess your time, I'll be just giving you false information. So Abbas Baj, he's a CPA, chartered professional accountant. Can you please guide me how to go about PMSOL? I'm an auditor, so I'm in the list. Yes, of course you are. I'm an Indian living in Dubai. So, Abbas, the best thing for you is to
employed in Australia.
Correct.
To find a sponsor.
Yeah. So just find an employer as soon as possible.
Yeah.
Oh, we almost an hour. We'll just quickly go. Oh no, there's so many questions. Let's go some questions till Aro and then finalize it, and then we'll come back to you soon. Can we go back up to the last question, Mari? Yeah. So we'll just go up to Aro Atri and then yeah. So Davinder Saini, when will the Tasmanian border open for international students? So New South Wales starting
to bring back
students.
Yeah.
So students program will go very good. So my advice for anyone who's looking to study, get enrolled, get your student visa, because you can do both right now. And if you want to study few subjects at a time, most of the universities allow. If you need any specific advice on a university and a course, we provide that service for free.
And
we don't charge you.
For Master of Public Health in Tasmania, send us an email. Our education team can help you to
guide you, find
registered.
the best course and best program.
Yeah.
Unfortunately, Tasmanian nursing program's quite full, but everything else is going well.
Yeah.
Most of the other courses are still available. So Tasmania is a migration hotspot.
Yes.
So a lot of people, most of the courses get filled up very quickly.
Okay. Then critical care and emergency. Oh, this is from our last question. So you're in Victoria. So try 190 in Victoria.
Yeah, 190 will go.
Yeah.
So I think, shall we wrap it up now? Audience, we would love to spend more time, but due to the responsibilities we have here in the office, we have a lot of clients to close up before the end of the financial year's ends, and also, it's a there's a lot of responsibilities we have to do it in timely manner. So it's lovely to have you all here.
Really, some good news within this week, actually. Hopefully, it will get better for the next financial year.
Yeah, it's
a lot of change.
There's going to be lots of new news coming through next couple of weeks, especially in Australian migration, because this is the last week. Is it the last week? Yes, it is the last week of this financial year. So Australian financial year goes from 1st of July to 30th of June every year. So most of the migration programs get budgeted and announced that way as well. It doesn't really affect much for the work visa programs like 482s and 494s. So out of all, there is very good news for people who are out there. So if you're a chef or if you're an accountant. Or engineer, surveyor, IT specialist, you have good opportunities to find an employer or a secure job and travel to Australia right now with a travel exemption. This is the first good news we had, and we are expecting the student borders to be open soon, and
hopefully it will get better next year.
So stay tuned, stay in touch, and subscribe to our channels, and then we will, every time we find something new, we will post it and we will share our knowledge with you. So if there's any other questions, please send us an email, or whoever we missed out in these questions, we will endeavor to answer your questions through the next week's session. We'll summarize your questions and answer it. In the meantime, if you have any urgent questions or urgent attention, give us a call or send us an email, book an appointment. We will give you personalized one-on-one advice. Until then, stay safe. We want you to be safe from all these COVID issues and pandemic issues in the tough times, especially overseas. Hopefully this will be over very soon. Until then, stay safe. God bless everyone. See you next week.
Next week. Bye.
Bye.